Lagos. My name is Sage Babalola. We just got through trends in the papers where we reviewed the Guardian, the Punch and the Vanguard newspaper, talking about report and events that played out over the course of the week, and of course new and developing stories. We are now on to Mainland Focus. As I said earlier before we went on that brief commercial break, that this is the part of the Morning Express where we allow you be a part of the conversation. It's not a monologue. We like to get feedback. We like to hear what you think, your reservations about these stories, and more importantly, your recommendation as the person directly affected by the decisions made by those at the helm of affairs. What advice do you have? What is your reaction to these decisions, among many other things? So for Mainland Focus, we have two stories for conversation this morning. Of course, as it is the usual practice here, Fouad Said would further reinforce the opinions that he made during trends in the papers, and then we would now give you the opportunity to speak to us. We have many platforms through which you can reach us on radio. We have the phone lines. I'll give out the number before we open the phone lines. We have the WhatsApp platform. You can also send us a text message. But more importantly, we are on social media. So join us on Facebook and on YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM or facebook.com/Mainland 98.3 FM. We're also on YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. We stream all of the shows live, and you can take advantage of the live chat option of this streaming platform to drop your messages, and I can assure you we would read every single message that you drop on that platform to the best of our ability. Now, moving on to the stories for conversation this morning, we are of course going to be talking about the ORONSAYE report. 12 years after, TINUBU has decided to adopt the ORONSAYE reports to cut down the cost of governance. A lot of recommendations in there, many of which happens to be recommendations to cut down the amount of agencies and parastatals and commissions of the federal government. In fact, 263 agencies will be slashed to 161. 52 of these would be merged. We would also have 14 that would be downgraded to department in ministries. Also, there would be 29 agencies that would be merged into 15. And all of these recommendations, which should be done in 12 weeks. And in fact, if we're able to see these recommendations through, we would be able to save as much as 241 billion naira. This is going to definitely serve an amazing purpose for the country, especially at this time where our expenditure is having a very heavy, disastrous toll on our economy. So we want to ask you questions regarding this particular report. How do you see this decision by the president? Also, what other cost-cutting measure would you recommend to the president and the government generally, aside from the implementation of the content of this particular report? If we were up to you to advise further what you think the government should do regarding cutting the cost of governance and just ensuring better public service, what would your advice be? And secondly, we're going to talk about recommendations of the Trade Union Congress, who I would like to reiterate are backing out of the planned protest of the NLC. They have gone further to advise the federal government to allow for the importation of food items. Clearly, they are saying that this idea of self-sustainability when it comes to food provision is a very far thought, and we might not be able to actualize that at this moment. So they're advising the government to allow for food importation to, at least in the short term, mitigate the food crisis that we have in the country. So we're asking you, do you agree with the TUC that we should allow for importation of food items as a temporary or short-term measure to tackling the food crisis? These are the two stories for conversation this morning. I am trying to get Fouad Said on the line so that we can hear his thoughts before we open. Okay, we have him now. Fouad, good morning to you. Welcome back.
Yeah, good morning, Sage.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I would like to think you caught the stories that I read.
Yes, of course.
Okay, yes, please go ahead, Fouad.
Okay, on the issue of, let me see the second one and I'll talk about the first one.
Okay.
The issue of like TUC talking about food importation. I think that's one suggestion that I think the government should also consider at this time. Because what the TUC is saying is that, look, you know, was it last week we were asking ourselves, all of these rice that our chair, all the governors are sharing or they are planning to share, where is the rice going to come from? Because the information we are getting is that, look, it's also putting pressure on supply of food to the market. Because again, the governors are going to mop up whatever we have locally if they are buying the local rice. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a demand pressure. Because, look, Kogi State governor showed thousands of bags of rice. Lagos is expecting 100 trailers. Ogun State has 100 trailers. So that in itself is the reason why some of these things are very expensive. So what the TUC said is that, look, because this idea of the government trying to buy and share to people is causing demand push inflation on food prices. And that, look, what they should do is to allow, what we have, take care of the local demand, while they can look at importing whatever they need to share to the people, at least in the short term. You understand? And by extension, maybe open the borders for a few period for us to sort ourselves out. And I take it further that, look, in comparative advantage analysis stage, I've always said it. Yes, we keep going into this conversation that we must plant rice. Look, if it's something we cannot immediately do to create self-sufficiency, can we also look at other things that we have a comparative advantage on? You understand? Is there any other thing that we can plant that's easy for us to, take advantage of? So that if we import rice from other places, we sell that to them. Because this conversation around rice every time. Yes, I agree that we can be looking at local, self-sufficiency when it comes to rice production. But we have a crisis now, and we have to just do something. That's why some of us are buying the argument of the TUC at this time that, look, this is not the time to say we will not import food. We have a serious food crisis. At least in the short term, maybe for 6 months, let's look at importing what we need to eat first, while we then try to create some form of stability locally. So that's on that. And then on the issue of your report, well, like I said in the morning, very good decision by the president when it comes to the cutting down the cost of governance. It's a very, very good decision at this time. We've always talked about it. One of the reports we've always highlighted, when we talk about, looking at bringing down the cost of governance. But like Oliver Twist that I am saying, there's still more that needs to be done. And like I suggested, can we also look at the overbloated cabinet members of the president? Because this is the largest ever in this fourth republic. A lot of those ministries have not been able to do anything. We've not even had anything from them. So can you also look at that? And when we are talking about cutting down the cost of governance, and then can we by extension also take it to the legislature? Can we move from a bicameral legislature to unicameral legislature? Instead of having two, we have one. You don't have to copy the American model, hook, line, and sinker. See, we can look at our own model, looking at our own reality to funding government. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of having Senate and Reps, let's just have the House of Reps alone, or maybe the Senate alone. But I would prefer the House of Reps alone because they are closer to the people in terms of structure. You understand what I'm saying? So we have the House of Reps alone, and then we can even take it further. We have a part-time legislature, so we just pay them particularly instead of having them there go. Some people will never say anything for 4 years. They are just there collecting huge allowances, salaries, and emoluments. If we are really talking about cutting down the cost of governance, so that's what I'm saying. See, so that whatever money we save, we can deploy to other things. Instead of having a budget of over 344 billion on the National Assembly, we can reduce it to 100 billion, to 244 billion balance, put it on health, put it on education. And these are things that will really make impact in the lives of the people. And then we'll go to the state assemblies too, implement the same thing. Again, like maybe people will tell you these are extreme views, but again, it just me thinking aloud here. And then ultimately say, let us also talk about spendings of government, the expenditure of government appropriations of public funds. We have to judiciously use public funds. Prudent spending, meaningful spending of public funds. We have to do away with this idea of using 3 billion, 6 billion for car parks, 5 billion for SUVs, 5 billion to renovate housing, 50 billion for house of VP, and all of those kind of reckless spending has to stop. And then also investigate procurement of the states too, and at the federal level. There are still questions about the procurement pattern of state government, how reckless some of those procurements are. So it has to be a holistic thing, really, for us to be able to now save money to deploy properly to better the lives of the people. And then the final one stage for me, now that the president has taken up the ORONSAYE report, I'm making a personal appeal to him to also dig up the Justice Ways Committee report 2008 on electoral reform. More than ever before in the life of Nigerians, we need electoral reform. As we are talking about cost of governance, we must also talk about electoral reform. We can't go into 2027 with a whack electoral process like we had in 2023. My submission this morning is
Thank you very much, Fuad. We appreciate you for your submission. Well, it's time for us to get feedback. But before I do that, I'll just very quickly look at the message we got during trends in the papers. Unfortunately, the entire page has reloaded, and I am struggling to get through the backlog of messages that we got during trends in the papers. There are 10 comments here, but I can't even access it. Maybe our tech team can help us fix that. But we have Quadrigrab Eta Oladimeji, who says, "Is it possible to adjust?" Oh, okay.
Your mind.
Thank you. Yeah, my microphone. Why do you want to see my mouth? Why? Why do you want to see my mouth? Why did you want to see my mouth? Well, it's okay. Thank you very much. I'll do something about that. But thank you very much. Maybe they think it's AI that is talking, so they want to verify that is me that is actually talking. Thank you very much for your message. But then you can still join us on Facebook. Mainland Focus is streaming live on Facebook. Text your message and I would read those messages as they drop. The phone lines are now open. 0913 6,410. That's how you can reach us. 0913 6000410. For WhatsApp or text messages, you can send your messages to 0913 6000430. Let's take our first phone call for the morning. Please be aware you have just 2 minutes for submission. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, Mrs. Sage.
Yes, good morning to you, sir. Your name, where you're calling from?
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Fouad.
Morning, sir.
Thank you very much. My name is Madam. I'm calling from Kenya.
Okay.
Good morning.
Thank you. Yes, that's a report that was touched yesterday by the president. I really very happy about it. But something came to my mind yesterday about the mix of ministries and departments and some agencies that are supposed to be merged and some supposed to be scrapped. It came to my mind that the first ministry to be scrapped among all the ministries in Nigeria should be Ministry of Agriculture.
Why?
Yes. The Ministry of Agriculture has been having Minister of Agriculture for a very long years back. And the workers there have been paid, the minister has been paid, the budget has been allocated to them years. But now we have seen the effect of the food in Nigeria. We are facing the food crisis in Nigeria today. Where is the government fund? Where is the government food? We don't even see anything concerning Ministry of Agriculture. Okay, yes, people have been having Ministry of Agriculture since a donkey years ago. Then now we need food. Where is the food? Why is the money that has been allocated to that ministry? And what I'm trying to emphasize is that every workers and the previous ministers in that agricultural ministry should come out and give account of their activity for donkey years. Now we need food. Why is the food owned by Nigeria? And where is Nigerian farm? Where is Nigeria? In fact, that Ministry of Agriculture, as far as I'm concerned, is a car.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Interesting conversation. What have you been doing in that ministry to sharing fertilizer?
Well, rather than scrap, why not, restructure? I mean, do you
I think what he wants is just to hold them to account.
Yes. I can understand. Well, I've been able to access the messages that we got on Facebook during trends in the papers. I'll just read a few. I apologize to those on the phone line. We have here, TINUBU and his team are trying, but approach to solving Nigeria's overwhelming challenges are not yielding results because they are just cutting the leaves of the unwanted tree rather than going to the root. Good morning, House. Great week and keep up the good work. Thank you very much. That is from Sonyaolu Akpalara. I'm sorry if I said your last name wrong. Akpalara. Okay, I'm so sorry. We have Prince Shola Shodeke who says, good morning, my radio family. Government waste is primarily due to high political salaries, benefit, budget inflation, and misappropriation of funds. Adopting the Orosoye report could streamline an overstaffed civil service plagued by favoritism and nepotism. Thank you very much for your message.
Ojota is calm. Nothing is happening in Ojota.
All right. Well, I also don't have any report of the protest starting at this moment, but I can assure you, as information drops, we'll definitely keep you up to speed. Show live and drop your submission. Let me go back to the phone lines now. 0913 6,410 is how you can call us, or WhatsApp and text message 0913 430 is how you can send us your text message or your WhatsApp messages. Whilst we are waiting for the calls to come in, I might as well just take advantage of that to look at the messages we've gotten on Facebook still. We have Prince Leo Ozoma who says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. A good one from the president to implement the ORONSAYE report, which is long overdue. My fear now is about the proper implementation of the report, because the essence of the report is to cut down the overbloated civil servant and ministries, to cut down the cost of running the government. But now the president already appointed more ministers and created more ministries, like having Ministry of Youth, different from the Ministry of Sport. Therefore, I expect him to start the reforms from himself. On food importation, some staple food items should be allowed to be brought into the country to bring down the cost of food items, and the government should begin to do everything to send our farmers back to the farm and encourage mechanized farming such that we can feed ourselves during the next season. Leo Ozoma from Isolo, Lagos is the author of that message. Back to the phones now. Good morning. Please turn down the volume.
I'm calling from command. Yes,
all right,
morning.
welcome.
I always appreciate this radio station, and God bless the management and the crew.
Thank you.
If anybody is talking about cutting down the cost of governance, that's a good start, but that's just a start. I always like to say the fact. A start doesn't mean that's all we need. It must go down to every. I saw one highlight that the money they are paying for the reps are too small compared to the responsibility. That's what they are saying. No? People are getting over bloated salary, and you are talking of cutting down of governance. Let's cut down all this nonsense and city allowance. All this is teacher getting city allowance. All this nonsense things must stop. All this sitting allowance, wardrobe allowance, and when you sum up everything, somebody will be going back with millions of naira monthly, and we say you want to come down cost of governance. Let every of all this nonsense monies all around be cut down. That is the real cost of governance. Starting from the presidency, not the president himself, the presidency, all this everything must be cut down. Billions of naira to the and nothing to write about. Let's cut down those allowances, or let's cut down all those car park allocation, or all this, or all this SUV buying, all this that buying every year. It's what is choking the country. It's what is choking the country. Let's cut down everything and let's maintain for a while. You see this Rwanda president, also that president last I think in December or January. I was talking about no traveling anywhere for this thing. That is what you need. All expenses and let the country breathe. That's what we solve this thing. Not imagine all these things that is there.
Thank you very much. God bless you too. Thank you for your call. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir. John from Malta.
Welcome, sir.
Yes, so kudos to the president for adopting the ORONSAYE report. But it looks like what I said over there, we should go further than that. And like you have said, in corroborating that position, that we should collapse the two legislative houses into one. Are you with me?
Yeah, we're with you.
One. That is just what we need, and reduce their emoluments, their salaries, whatever. Starting with the presidency too. And all the frivolous, all the jumbo allocations they've been making, building houses for let them channel it to good use, so that they don't embezzle all the gains of this effort. I think that is key. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you very much. We appreciate you for being brief. Let's take another phone call. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Pastor Ambrose, morning to you.
We thank God for another day.
Yes.
Well, I greet you.
He's with us. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, do you know that I never thought of it until when that caller said they should scrap the Ministry of Agriculture.
You agree?
Because, yes.
Okay.
Because when you really look at it, what exactly has the Ministry of Agriculture done for so many years now? And that is the only thing that can pivot our economy. It is very, very crucial, aside petroleum and maybe solid mineral. That is another thing that can pivot our economy. You see, my worry is this. is it not America? They're not practicing by camera. Is it not working for them? Let me tell you, if we practice parliamentary system of government, you will still see them. They will still manipulate it. So I don't think it's the system of government we are practicing. It is the attitude of our politicians. They are lascivious and they forget that what goes around comes around. If we start all of these things, it's not this man's report. As far as me I'm concerned, it's not even the solution. Our constitution is not the problem. Our problems are our politicians. From the presidency to the governors to the local government, they are the problem. Don't you know how much they are giving to local government now, Chairman?
Thank you very much for calling.
Can you see anything they have done with it? Oh, I don't think all this is our problem. It's corruption.
Thank you. Thank you for calling. Good morning. Thank you so much. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. Welcome.
Fouad, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, Fouad, I'm happy you are there. And I want to ask a question. My name is Don Peters.
Yes.
Is this not the same ORONSAYE report that was widely reported in 2020? In 2020, June 2020 to be precise.
Yes.
That Buhari approved implementation.
Yes.
ORONSAYE report.
Yes.
Is it not the same ORONSAYE report?
The same report, yes.
So how far didn't they work on it as at that time?
They didn't do anything on
White
it.
paper.
You're just
so what I have my reservation.
Okay.
I will not be jubilating over anything they tell me in the media from this presidency. I want to feel the impact of their governance firsthand. I don't want to be listening to them. I want to feel it. I want to ride on a good road. I want to see 24-hour power supply. I want to see people go back to their houses, not being afraid of bandit or whatever. I just want to see the dollar drop. I just want to see the foreign investors on ground. Okay? Because these people had told us a lot of things, and by the end of the day, it turned out to be lies. In 2020, this same APC government reported to us in the media that ORONSAYE report had been presented by Buhari, and everybody celebrated it as at that time. So they have brought it back for us to start celebrating. Now, no. They can't deceive me, please. I am too informed to be, to be squeezed my brain by this government with their propaganda and lies.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You are entitled to your opinion, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Thank you very much. I'm going back to Facebook now, and I'm doing this, because I'm trying to make sure we're able to cover as many messages as possible. So please, pardon, implement the ORONSAYE report, but I also want the president to look more into our civil service. Too many redundant workers are there doing nothing, not because they're lazy, but there is really nothing to do. How do we explain having builders, surveyors, and the likes in civil service, yet we award contract for menial jobs that these people can do? Thank you very much. Felix Kalu on Facebook also says, good morning, Sage and Fouad. The fact that the Nigerian system is not designed to cut down on anything is funny. The law of gravity does not work in Nigeria. Anything that goes up keeps going up and never comes down. If they say they want to cut the cost of governance, trust me, they have created other secret avenues to make up for their losses. It is not a Nigerian thing. Today, the federal government should open the borders for essential food items to come in. Nigeria is a large market to sell food without worries. We lost that message. Okay, on the cost of governance, I hope the government will be sincere with the adoption of ORONSAYE report. I will wait for implementation before applauding them. Mr. President should take a bold step to stop corruption where it matters, which is killing the economy. Thank you very much, Olumiwa on Facebook. We're streaming live, Facebook, YouTube, Mainland 98.3 FM. I'll go back to the phones now. Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, Madam Ife.
Anna.
How are you now? How are you doing today?
I'm fine, very well. I could have gone to protest, but I'm not seeing anything here. This place is so calm. I was here. I want to talk about ORONSAYE's report that have gathered dust since. Is it the same nomenclature of 2012?
The same thing
that we are still having in Nigeria now. Are you sure? Nigeria is something else now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the one I'm trying to say, it's not the Nigeria of 12 years ago. It's not Nigeria of now. Nigeria of 12 years ago, the dollar was 100 and something, but Nigeria of this time is 1,900. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's not the same nomenclature, and the way the people are, eulogizing its report, this and that. Report was done by Buhari now. So what is the effect? There's no effect on it. So, and again, to cut down costs, the presidency should start. I remember Donald Trump did not earn 1 cent, $1 in America for 4 years. Why can't this our president do the same thing? He has businesses all over the place before he became president. He should not earn salary and cut down all these allowances that people are saying. They should listen. They should have people that are listening, to their to radio, not television, radio. This is where you get info from the masses. They should do the needful. Cost they are not going. There is no way they will lose job. And people who are due for retirement should be thrown out of the place and give chance for their children to enter. So cutting costs is very, very essential too. It's essential. TINUBU should do the needful.
Thank you.
And let us breathe.
Thank you. Very briefly, in a minute, do you consider that maybe some of the aspect of that report is not necessarily relevant anymore? Like Madam, if he's trying to bring out, because things have changed.
No. You see, the reality is that, look, what the report does basically is to look at ministries, parastatals, and agencies. And look, instead of having duplication of duties, bring them together. Someone was telling me just number of staff.
What was the point?
So maybe going forward, what would happen is that this current staff strength will be maintained, but recruitment going forward will now minimal. So it's not, because again, and then the issue of people having different offices, allowances, travel allowances, disallowances, because like I told you, look at the Diaspora Commission, for example.
Right.
Well, what's the big deal? It should just be a department, even a desk. Administration of Foreign Affairs can handle diaspora matters. So why have a whole commission? Then you have one head of commission, you have assistants, SAs, and blah. It's unnecessary, really.
Right. I'm going to read a few WhatsApp messages. We do not need long grammar. Let the government cut down ministries and all those ridiculous agencies, as well as put a bill that would leave us with only a unicameral legislature. TINUBU would have saved the government and the citizens all the stress they have put us through since the high jump if they had thought before taking actions that they hurriedly took. They should also comb up the 2014 Constitutional Conference recommendation so that we can take him serious, as Steve Ijaniki. We also have here on Facebook, on WhatsApp, Odugbeson Kayode on WhatsApp says, implementing ORONSAYE's report alone is not the solution to cut the cost of government. Let the presidency, senators, and the House of Representatives cut their outrageous salaries and allowances. It's too much. Thank you very much for your message. Still on WhatsApp, we have Good Morning Sage and Fouad. The advice of the Trade Union Congress that the government should import food is good, but it is a temporary measure. Why didn't the TUC and the NLC compel the government to make the refineries work from 1999 till date? Amadeleye in Festac Extension, it was a part of the 16-point MOU. Even when government needs to stop all the throwing of funds at inflation, we patriotic citizens are being thrown into poverty by the day. Okay, thank you very much for your message. We appreciate you and we sympathize with you. Good morning, Sage and Fouad. Customs suspend the rice sale due to stampede. My question to Fouad is, what will happen to the remaining rice? What about rice seized previous years? What are they going to do with it? Or can Belina from Mafoluku rather? It's a suspension. It's not a cancel. Okay, I don't think this message is for us, but thank you very much for your submission. Hello, good morning to you. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
I'm calling you from Joshaga.
All right, what's your name, please? And turn down the volume on your radio. It's very noisy, please.
I'll turn it up.
Okay.
I greet your guest, our brother Farah.
Good morning.
My name is Joshua.
All right, welcome.
You see, one thing I want to say is that until our leaders, our so-called government, they have a change of attitude and change of mindset. That is when they will work. Our problem is not the constitution. Our problem is we that are called ourselves the people. What kind of mindset do we have? When somebody will be buying a car of 100 and something million, and another citizen does not have even 1,000 in his own account, how did you expect the one that doesn't have 1,000 in his own account to feel better about you that is riding a car of 1 million or 100 million? Until we have a mindset that is good, that is when this country will start working. Without that, we are going nowhere.
Thank you.
That is just my own take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Actually, we have first-hand information regarding the protest. We actually have a call coming through so that we can tell you what's going on with the NLC protest at this time. Omobola Sandra would be giving us the report. Good morning to you, Omobola Sandra.
Hello.
Yes, hello. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Are we live?
Yes, we are live. We're live.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is Omobola Sandra. I'm live, happening there live. There's serious traffic. We had to trek all the way from Unity Road down to the down that bridge. I have this guy is blue. Yes. Okay. Yes. So the NLC, they are here. There are some maritime guys here as well. There's sufficient security presence as well. So they are stationed at this road. That's what they need, Joseph. Okay. So okay. Well, good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, everyone listening right now. As it is within the right of the Nigerian people to have a peaceful protest, and so far so good. That's what we are having at the moment. So there's a peaceful walk along Adeni Jones. The lane inward Adeni Jones is blocked. That is the part of the road where the protesters are occupying. So it seems the work is marching on to the Alausa, that's Secretariat. So of course, as you can hear, as the siren blaring all around, the heavy presence of the police. It's been taken responsibility to protect the protesters. So far so good. Everything is going on well. It's just a peaceful walk now. So wherever the protests lead us to, we continue to march and we'll continue to give you updates as the day one of the NLC nationwide protest. It's well scheduled to be for 2 days, today and tomorrow, and as expected, it's getting large media coverage. And this is the one, like I said. And according to the reports we are getting, the protests are going on simultaneously in FCT Abuja in Osun State. Spoke to a friend of mine this morning. They started way earlier. But then Lagosians are gathering in their numbers. Our stores are actually open, by the way. All of the stores around the edge are open, but everybody is obviously trying to be careful. But so far, so good is good.
All right. Thank you very much.
So, yeah, thank you very much.
Yes.
Just to fill you in on the protest activities. NLC is marching towards Alausa, just like Okoye mentioned. There's heavy police presence, heavy. I want emphasis on heavy. And it's very peaceful so far. It's just a peaceful walk. They're playing music, they're walking. So that's what we have for now. We're marching with them. We'll give you more updates later on.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you for the reportage. That's Omobola Sandra and Okpeyemi Akionde giving us an update on day one of the NLC nationwide protest that's supposed to happen today, the 27th, and tomorrow, the 28th. It is peaceful, like you've heard. There's police presence, as it is the responsibility of the government to protect protesters. I told you we'll give you real-time information regarding that protest. But we're going back to conversations today on Mainland Focus. If you're just joining us, we're having having a conversation about the ORONSAYE report, the one that asks that agencies, parastatals, commissions of the government be merged together in a bid to, of course, ensure efficiency in provision of service and, more importantly, help to cut down the cost of governance. And we're asking you the simple question: how measures would you recommend to the president and the government? We're also referencing the recommendation of the TUC that the federal government should allow for the importation of food items at this time to temporarily mitigate the food crisis that we're dealing with in the nation. So do you agree with the TUC that we should allow for importation of food item as a WhatsApp and text message 0913 6000 430, Facebook and YouTube where we're streaming live, Mainland 98.3 FM. I'll go to the phones now. Hello.
Hello?
Hello, yes. Good morning to you.
Good morning. This is Ben from Merkel.
All right. Can you speak up a little bit, sir, please?
And turn down the volume of your radio.
No, my radio is off.
Good.
Okay.
Too busy, so sometimes.
We understand.
Yeah. Look,
Yes.
I follow Buhari government throughout the 80s, bumper to bumper. I did not see where President Muhammadu Buhari ordered the implementation of a natural report.
Okay, there was even a
Please.
white paper. That's to tell you that, look, at some point there were reports that it should be implemented.
Are you telling me the white report under President Muhammadu Buhari?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. That there
Which
were
month
attempts.
was that?
Look, we can't go into all of that. There are reports. You can confirm
Anyway,
all of that.
don't let us go into that. But I believe the Buhari never ordered the implementation of unnatural report.
They started the process. That's what we're
They
saying.
started the process. They never ordered for implementation.
No. You go and check your facts.
Let me learn, please. Thank you
So
so
what
much.
do you want to bring out from that now?
What I want to bring out is that we should limit some of this information we pass to the public, because Buhari never ordered this implementation of the report.
Wait. Now calm down. Do you know that it's not even the ORONSAYE report alone? Even the Justice Muhammadu Buhari's report too was dug up by the same government for an attempt to implement it. The same thing with the ORONSAYE report too. And a white paper was issued. It was not done.
For attempt different from go ahead and implement.
What do you mean by
anyway?
attempt?
Don't let us go there. And I want to talk about that. The food issue security we're talking about.
So let's have that conversation.
If you open the border today, the farmer will go into another hunger in the next maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We should continue to manage as we are managing now. The problem we have is that some people move our food to another country, and the government has stopped them now. The food will be coming down in a couple of months. Everything will come down. Look. If you really want to fight food inflation in the country, we're supposed to face our governor. Under Nigerian constitution as it is today, the states are being controlled. They are the owner of this land that we all see, that you can use for agricultural products, for large production. But the problem is that we put the fingers at the federal government that they don't have a land. If we face our governor, what are your Ministry of Agriculture doing in your state? How do you support? If the federal government is going to support the farmer, even the support is going to come through the state. We should face our state governor so that the state governor will invest more on whether to support the farmer, whatever, so that we can have food sufficient in this country. So if you look at the constitution, look at last government, Buhari wanted to build a housing. Imagine housing. He was begging state governor to provide land. So the state are the owner of the land, not the federal government. So we should put more attention on the state governor, not the federal government, to give us the food sufficient.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you for your call. All right.
Yes, good morning.
Would you like to say something? Okay, hello.
Good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Yes, good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, this is Malam Salah.
All right.
Yes.
For me, I don't subscribe into that idea of importation of food. You understand? My reason is very simple. A country like ours, the most populated country in the world, that's what I recommend. Hello, sir.
We are with you.
We're with you. Go ahead.
The most populous black nation in the world.
You understand? Okay. Now, for we to say that we have to import food, that is not for me. I don't subscribe into that. My reason is very simple. Why are we importing food? Do we like the manpower? Do we like the land? Do we like I mean, the knowledge to farm? Well, the answer is no. It's no. We have enough land to farm. So I think it's better for us government to provide security and other amenities that can make people, for us to make ourselves self-dependent in terms of food. You understand? This is my own. Because when you look at Thailand, when you look at Vietnam, when you look at Singapore, these are small countries. You understand? So compared to us, we don't need to import food. We have to provide security for us to farm to feed ourselves. Very soon our population will get up to 1 billion. Look at China, look at India. When they look at their population, they don't depend on importation. They have to provide food for themselves. And today they are even giving aid to other countries, their countries. This is number one. When we come to the report, I don't know the contents of that report. But if the report is only to match some ministries together, prosecutors together, yes. Some prosecutors, if you look at them, they are duplication of each other. For example, like Manasa and NPA.
Thank you.
They all serve almost the same purpose.
Thank you very much.
So what I'm saying, sir,
yes.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, man. Lots of time. But just before we take the next call, the Nation newspaper, May 2nd, 2020, ORONSAYE report. That's to Ben, who was arguing that there was never an attempt to implement that report. That was by the Nation newspaper, May 2020. Several agencies for scrapping as President Buhari orders implementation of ORONSAYE report. Look, there are so many others, an attempt by government that we don't follow through. But it wasn't that there was no attempt. Even the Ways report, severally, Jonathan tried to implement it after Yaradua. He didn't finish it. The same attempt was made by the Buhari government. He didn't finish it. So it's not anything new that there's been an order to implement the ORONSAYE report. And that's what we're saying, that in 2020, like Madam Ife said, there was an attempt, or was it Madam Ife that said it? Yes, I think so. That there was an attempt to implement the ORONSAYE report. And
this is not the first time that this is being said. The question is, can they really implement it? Are you hearing it for the first time? Have they cut down on any? Another news will come out tomorrow, and this will be forgotten. Don't act like we don't know how it is in Nigeria. Okay. Rashid Taurid on Facebook says, hi Mr. Fuad and Sage, the cost of governance is killing Nigerians and it must be reduced, and they should open the borders to allow food importation for now as a result of hunger in the land. I commend the president for the cut down, but more should be done. Thank you. Alakbi, thank you very much for your message. Alakbi sent a message on Facebook. He says, many thanks to Mr. President for deeming it fit to implement the long-awaited Steve ORONSAYE's report, which some of us have been clamoring for. Once again, we thank the president for his gesture to Nigerians. However, Nigerians would be, and that message just morning to you. Yes, morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
God bless all of you and bless your management.
Amen.
Thank you.
If Mr. President can implement this ORONSAYE to the fullest, what they want to derive from this for the implementation of the program, it will be buoyant for Nigeria. The money that will come out of it, the government. Now, if we make money out of this, we know when we talk of politicians.
Prince Wise, you might have to call us back. There's some sort of glitch, so please call us back if you can. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Jonathan.
Oh, welcome, sir. Please go ahead.
For the ORONSAYE report, I think the simplest way to explain it is that Jonathan did part, Buhari did majority of the work, TINUBU implemented it. I think that's the simple way. So I think it's the use of
to implement it, Mr. Kuli has not.
Yes, that's what I'm saying now. He wants to implement it. He has given us a 12-week period. So all the other ones just worked on it and probably he finished the work. They did that. So, but it was never implemented. So this is the person saying he would implement it. So I said, We have a waiting period of 12 weeks. Let's see how it works out. For those afraid about importation, there's nothing wrong with importation. Those of us who stood and loved the Anchors Borrowers Fund, those of us who saw the movement of our rice collection from 2 million metric tons in 2014 to 8.5 in 2023, thereabouts, understood that food growth in Nigeria is very important. However, at this present time, we need importation to manage the excessive demand that is driving, part of what is driving up price. Because you said earlier, governors have almost probably bought everything. So there's too much money chasing too few goods, and it's put and help to bring down the price.
And
for that period, yes, once we are able to clear that batch off, then we'll go back to allowing our nascent industries continue to work. So people should understand that they are not trying to kill the local industry. We're only saying let's use that to meet our present need. Then as regards the unicameral issues, I am not in support of that. I feel the bicameral is still what it should be and all of that. And I think we lay so much emphasis on National Assembly as being spendthrift too, just like we have governance and all of that. Because as I always say, 430 billion as compared to 27 trillion is less than 1.5%.
Thank you.
So if we are giving somebody 1.5% to chase 27 trillion, are we doing justice? So we need to look at that. Thank you very much and God bless.
Thank you for your call. We appreciate you. Hello.
Hear me now?
Yes, Prince Wise, we can hear you.
Thank you. Where I'm going is the money that's going to come out of this program. Are they going to spend it for Nigeria or it's going to private pocket? Because where something good luck, because it is a man that half lion heart can take this drastic decision. If other government can implement the sort of 12 years, 13 years ago, this president, the decision has been taken, it is something history is well implemented. Well, very soon we will commend it. Because I never see a president that just take it, he want to reform from 190 to 600 naira per liter, floating of naira. It's a hard decision taken by someone who is die of acted. President can pay so that just for a month, their food comes in to supply the local government, but he must commit himself to pass all those coming out for this beautiful program. Because if somebody look at the million that coming out of this, are we getting or losing? If we take a very hard decision, we wish that supported you, we are praying for you to succeed. And if you succeed, don't let these people control the money that will come out of it. Good morning to you, my people in the studio.
Thank you, Prince Wise. Good morning to you. Hello. Okay, please call back if that was you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
I'm Mr. John, calling from Arkansas.
Please, can you speak up? It's a struggle to hear you, please.
Okay, I'm Mr. John, calling from Arkansas.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
The problem of Nigeria is not margin this and that. The problem is corruption. Because somebody become a governor, you have nothing. Then after that 4 years, you die to jet. You have 3 jets, 4 jets. Nobody can question you. Now, that is the most important. That is the most thing that is killing the country. Not all this margin and margin. It is good. I'm not against it. But the most important, the most dangerous thing we have in this country is corruption. How can somebody be a governor for 4 years? After that 4 years, he started having a jet, and nobody can question him. It doesn't work. It's not done in any other country, except in Nigeria. It is honestly, sometimes I can be crying. If my wife, my lady, will tell me that, why are you crying for this country? Because it's not doing anywhere in the whole world. How can somebody just a governor after 4 years has a jet up and down, and people will be clapping on you, clapping. Oh, you are doing great. You are doing great. Where do you make that money?
Thank you. Thank you so much for calling.
God bless you too, sir.
I mean, this merging will in a way help to prevent budget padding, because it's the fact that there's multiple everything under one. That's why you can just chuk. But you understand. But once you merge everything,
at least you have a clear
you know what you're giving who, and
because you see that are too scattered. You know, this one goes there, that one goes there. So
ask for money for water, money for H2O, money for fluid, money for liquid under the same agency.
I want to see the way it's going to be implemented, really. Because again, I suspect that the government will be at loggerheads with labor. It's going to, because again, job losses probably. I don't know, but the minister has said that look, we won't lose any job loss really. But let's just be realistic. If we start, because they said they're going to scrap some ministries.
Yes.
So some agencies. So those agencies you are scrapping, where would their staff go to?
He's saying that they would absorb them. That's why they're going to be absorbed.
Well, again, it's a committee and they have how many weeks? I think 12 weeks. Yeah,
yes.
Okay. So
they'll figure it out.
But it's a good one. The fact that this report is being looked into by the president is a very good one.
I'm going back to Facebook now. Ibilade Ambo says maybe we don't want to be called a dumping ground for imported food. If that is the case, we are better than Benin Republic where imported food is allowed. Rice is cheap in Cotonou because they are the dumping ground of imported rice. In my entire life, I've never heard that the Beninese in one time of their national life queued and died in a stampede over rice. It's also like to say that despite being a dumping ground of imported food, electricity is stable in Benin Republic than in Nigeria. They also have good road, unlike in Nigeria. Okay. Obiora Izechuku says, my people, what would have gladdened my heart this morning is if I heard the president scrap something like Office of the First Lady. It doesn't even exist. Office of the First Son and Daughter, plus reducing the ministries to 25 and the political appointees to minimal level. These things don't exist in the first place. But the one that is not known to the constitution. Thank you very much, Obiora Izechuku on Facebook. Prince Leo Ozoma, still on Facebook, says, good morning, Sage and Fuad. A good one from the president to implement the ORONSAYE report, which is long overdue. My fear now is about the proper implementation of the report, because of the essence of the report is to cut down the over-bloated civil servant and ministry. This one, all right. Please, there's no need for you to send multiple messages. You just prevent me from seeing other ones, all right? One time is enough. Thank you. James Ogbona says, Sage and distinguished Fuad, I greet you fundamentally. Mr. Fuad, I did not even remember the Steve ORONSAYE report. The one that has always been on my mind and for most Nigerians is the report from the National Confab of 2014. Mr. Fuad, do you remember the National Confab where huge money was spent to sponsor a lot of people across the country?
I think 12 million each per delegate. Yeah.
I remember they came up with many documented recommendations. What has happened to those documents? And this idea of several committee is killing every move. I hope that this new committee will not be the end of Mr. President's directives after they must have collected sitting allowance. Did Mr. President have to set up another committee to look into the implementation of another committee? I hope that after 12 weeks, this committee would not recommend a new committee to implement their own findings. Fuad, I don't even know if you understand what I'm saying. James, you understand?
No, but again, when it comes to implementation reports like this, you require people to sit down and create a framework for it to be properly implemented. Right. So
it's okay. We have a message here. Olumuyiwa says, good morning, Mainland FM. On the focus today, federal government should open the border for essential food items to come in. Nigeria is a large market to sell goods without worries, and the campaign of closing borders. The closing of the border is born out of selfishness of some local producers who are bent to dictate the prices due to greediness, and they have now succeeded fully in the case of cement. On the cost of governance, I hope the government will be corruption where it matters, because that is what is killing the economy. Muyiwa from Abuja sent that particular message. The phone line is still open. I think we can still take about 3 more phone calls. 0913 6000 410 is the phone line. Good morning to you.
Morning to you, Sage and Engineer Nee here from
Good morning, Engineer Nee. Please go ahead.
Morning, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, you see, when we money shows the thief. When I have the issue, 50 ministries were created, and those ones are not looked into. And special advisors, including TAC and Galas, were appointed. They were not looked into until it is well implemented, and most of the ministries, 50 of them, are merged into 37 or highest 42. That is, one is from each state, and one from Abuja, and one from each to political zones. That is what the constitution recommends. So if those things are not done, all the other things, this proposition, I don't see it as a serious issue. Because there are so many special assistants. Even in the office of the first lady, there are special assistants. People appointed from each state to assist the first lady that is not in the constitution. Money shows the day. It is diversionary. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. We have more information for you from the NLC protest happening right now. Omobola Sandra is with us with information.
Against insecurity, against the downturn of our forex, of our currency, against every issue that has to do against humanity. That is why we are on the street. Not particularly because of our own interest, not particularly because of salary. Though the government have instituted a tripartite committee, they have inaugurated a tripartite committee on new minimum wage. But let Nigeria take it that NSC has come out just because of Nigerians. Rice is no longer affordable. All the food items are no longer affordable. Transportations have skyrocketed. Curry is no longer affordable. You cannot buy again. Rice is now 85,000 naira per bag. Single sachet water, you can no longer buy. They are mistakes to price our necks. But we want to say that when we continue to educate, when we continue to come out, when we continue to talk with one voice, in unity, definitely the freedom is around the corner. Nigeria was today. Let us rise and let us tell Mr. President what is supposed to hear. And why do we need to tell Mr. President? Nigerians are there is hunger in the and so we need freedom. Security, we need protection. Others are no longer go to their farms. People for the traders. They can no longer travel from Tabas from one part of the country so that they are afraid of being kidnapped. The federal government, it is your responsibility. It is your duty to provide for us, to protect us. Our lives and our properties. Those are in the hand of God. But here on earth, they are in the hand of the government. It is the civic responsibility of government to provide for us. And it is also our human right for them to give us all that we needed. So let me allow some of our leaders to give us just two minutes. 2 minutes so that we can so that's the annual thank you very much. We are still there. We are currently thank you.
All right, thank you very much. In Lagos here, and we'll continue to give you real-time information as it drops. But then in about a minute, we actually have to go as we have commercials lined up. I am so sorry I wasn't able to read majority of the messages that we got. You can understand that we're trying to do all of these things simultaneously, take the stories and also update you with the NLC protest. So it's quite difficult to do all of these things at the same capacity. But thank you so much for going along with us. After these commercials, we would of course come back and as the show progresses, as Omobola Sandra and Okpeyemi Akionde are dropping information, the host of the programs would connect with them live and provide you with information. Fuad, thank you so very much.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a delight talking to you on radio. Commercials are lined up, but we'll definitely be back by 10 a.m. At 11:30 will be time for the news update. At 12 noon, we'll bring to you the full bulletin. The Morning Express continues on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Don't forget, real estate market today would be happening. We still want you you to know what is necessary in the real estate market. FOADSAID will be joining for that program, or well, the hosting at the program. But we are pressed for time, so we might not be able to converse about what you want to tell us for real estate market today. And if you don't tell me where I can see land for 2.5, I don't want to talk to you either. So we're going to go now.
Yes, I'll tell you the state you can go to, not Lagos.